Hello, guys. I'm here to talk about the game that just came out from NetherRealm Studios called Injustice. I'm just giving my first impressions on what I think of the game. Basically, Injustice is a lot of fun, and if you take it for what it's worth, you're going to be entertained by it, and I think you're going to get your money's worth. Basically, I see Injustice as it's a juggling type fighter, much like Mortal Kombat. It kind of is a lot like Mortal Kombat in many ways. But, I loved Mortal Kombat 9. I really did. It was a great game. I played the shit out of it. I probably dumped more hours into that than any fighting game of this generation so far. And I really enjoy the combat in the game, the actual game mechanics. Like I said, it's a juggler, and it's not as much a dial a combo as Mortal Kombat 9 was, but it still is that style of play. And basically, what this game is to me, there's two different uh, ways I'm gonna review it, and it's basically as a serious and competitive fighting game, and as a game in general, and if you're entertained and things like that. I think that NetherRealm Studios is an old school type of studio. I think they do stuff as fan service a lot of the times, and they kind of design their games to be fun. And that's what they did in Mortal Kombat 9 by bringing back a lot of characters, keep going back to 2D, kind of just doing a lot of fan service and just making the people the people that buy their games happy. I think they did that right, and I think that's what they went for in this game, while at the same time, kind of what they did was go for a simpler approach, and I think they did a pretty good job. Basically, what I get out of it is the game is fun as hell. It's really entertaining. It's really crazy. There's a lot of crazy shit going on. So if it's like you and a buddy just sitting around playing games, it's a perfect fighting game for that. Like, with all the visuals and stuff going, insanely detailed backgrounds that all get completely destroyed. Uh, all the stuff going on, it's just a lot of fun, and basically like you will be like, oh shit, like, and just laugh at all the craziness that happens in just one average fight. And I think for that factor, just as kind of like, is this game entertaining me, is it giving me a good time, I think it is a really fun game. So far I basically just fleshed out the kind of like arcade ladder mode, basically, and all those little modes within it, and did a little tiny bit of like the story and challenge tower type things, and that's basically the gist I got from it. But so if you're going for, if what you're looking for in a game is just a lot of fun and craziness, and kind of, just to have a couple hours of fun with your buddies once in a while, and play as Batman and kick Superman's ass, or vice versa, or whatever. This is a really good game for that, and that's how that's how I've been playing it. What I'm really gonna start getting into now is like the story mode, the challenge tower, and then eventually the serious, more intense, competitive play of the game. The gist of what I get of it is, it's not really it's not going to be a serious tournament fighting game. I don't think it's not quite fine tuned enough to be completely balanced and used in a serious tournament situation. The online is fun, but like I said, I mean the character traits, some of them are just so much bigger and better than the others, and some of them are just completely pointless, basically. So what you end up seeing is people using one guy the whole time, or people picking one stage because it has a cheap sort of transition or something like that. So you'd have to put a lot of work into having an even playing field if you're going to do it in a tournament setting, which I don't think people are looking for when they buy a game like this to play in a tournament setting. Basically, a lot of guys are really, really, really cheap, and it's just not going to be used like that. And also, the juggles and stuff like that, to start one of those bigger high damage combos is much simpler. A lot of guys, especially like just for example, Batman has, like, just off the top of my head, 4 or 5 juggle starting combos that you can completely turn into like a 5 or 6 hit combo just like that with like 5 or 6 button presses. So it's going to be pretty easy for people to get into and master because it's significantly easier to master than a game like say Street Fighter or something like that where it's you really have to get in the ins and outs of things. But basically I'm going to do a full review on the game. I think I'm going to maybe split it up into just kind of like a fun factor version and then as a fighting game version. But in general, the mechanics of the fighting and all that, I tend to enjoy it. I enjoyed MK9 as a game and roster and all that. And basically, I enjoy this game. So my first impressions are it's pretty fun. I put 12 hours in. I've had a lot of fun just messing with the arcade ladder. I'm doing the story now. I'm like, an hour, maybe an hour and a half into it. And that's pretty fun so far. It's presented well, and it's you can tell it's not some low budget shit game, and they're doing it similar to Mortal Kombat where they added that element. Does it match up? I don't know yet, but this is just my first impressions, and like I said, so far from what I see, it's a really fun game, and I recommend you either play it or buy it. That I'll tell you after. But I'll tell you what, I pre-ordered it and I bought it. I even bought it at midnight, and so far I've had a blast with it over the past week or week and a half or whatever that has been out, and it was worth my $60 so far compared to other games on the market, in my opinion. And like I said, it's a simpler approach to things. So if you're that kind of player, it's gonna appeal to you. Even if you're just a DC fan, if you're a DC, a comic book fan and stuff like that, I'd say you gotta go buy this game. If you're a fighting game fan, maybe not. That's what I'll have to see in my full review. But first impressions, if you're looking for just a fun game and you got a buddy or something, or even just by yourself and you feel like, just fucking around and having some crazy fun in a fighting game, this is definitely for you. And I'll explain more and break into the mechanics of everything in my full review, which should be coming soon once I do the story mode and the whatever the equivalent to Star Labs, which is the challenge tower basically. So if you like MK9, go get it, check it out. If you like superheroes and stuff like that, check it out. And if you like fighting games, I'll get back to you on that one. But pretty much, it's a fun game. I'd say go check it out and check back for my full review very soon.